The International Monetary Fund and World Bank annual spring meetings are taking place at a moment when US President Donald Trump has upended the entire system of global trade with tariffs or the threat of them. Even US allies are now wondering if Washington is still a reliable partner, having created so much economic turmoil. And countries whose trade has been focused on the US are now recalibrating their trading relationships to try to do more business with each other. And that's nowhere less true than for the Asia-Pacific region, home to many of the world's manufacturing powerhouses. Trump's tariffs hit growth forecasts for US heavy exporters like Cambodia and Thailand hard, both suffering the steepest growth forecast downgrades in the region. But countries within this region are developing stronger trade ties with each other, helping consumers cross borders with a ubiquitous bit of tech.
Now you could have, within the ASEAN, you could have people selling things online and they have a common QR code and they get payment instantly. So these are kind of examples which can really boost intra-regional trade.
The IMF is urging export-driven countries to balance their economies with more domestic consumption, something China had embarked upon long before Trump's tariffs, as well as structural reforms.
If you look at several steps, more can be done. One is strengthening the pension system and the various pension systems. We also think there's scope to expand the healthcare system.
Even so, experts here are concerned that Asia-Pacific countries are the most exposed by tariffs because their economies are so export-driven.
Asian countries have continued to increase their participation in the global supply chain in recent years with rising exposure to US demand. The share of value-added exports to the US has increased both directly and indirectly through global supply chains.
If the picture looks challenging, large enterprises in these economies, especially China, India and Singapore, are integrating artificial intelligence at a much higher rate than their Western counterparts, as they look to future trade patterns that may seem very different to today's. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Washington.